Have you ever wondered what it would be like to live forever, to be immortal? Picture a world where the ticking hands of time hold no sway, where the inevitable march towards old age and decay is halted, where life extends beyond the natural boundaries of birth and death. This is the concept of immortality, a timeless desire, an age-old fascination that has captivated the human mind for centuries. The allure of eternal life is not a new phenomenon. It has been a recurring theme, a constant undercurrent throughout the tapestry of human history. From the earliest civilizations to our modern societies, the idea of immortality has been etched into our collective consciousness. It has been dreamed about, yearned for, feared and revered. It has been the subject of countless stories, myths and legends, and it continues to be a prominent feature in our modern narratives. In every corner of the world, in every era, people have pondered the possibility of everlasting life. The ancient Egyptians believed in an eternal afterlife, a realm of existence where the soul would continue to live after the body had perished. The Greeks spun tales of gods and goddesses, immortal beings who lived in the heavens and meddled in the affairs of mortals. In Eastern philosophies, concepts like reincarnation and the eternal soul suggest a continuous cycle of life and death, a never-ending journey of the spirit. Even in our scientifically advanced age, the idea of immortality continues to fascinate us. We see it in our literature, our films, our philosophies, and even in our scientific pursuits. It's a concept that challenges our understanding of life, of existence itself. It brings forth questions about the nature of consciousness, the essence of the soul, and the very fabric of reality. What is it about immortality that captivates us so? Is it the promise of endless experiences, the lure of unlimited knowledge, or perhaps the primal fear of our own mortality? The answers to these questions are as varied and complex as humanity itself. We invite you on a journey, an exploration into the heart of this timeless desire. From ancient myths to modern interpretations, let's delve into the concept of immortality. Let's uncover its many facets and dimensions. Let's journey back in time and discover how our ancestors envisioned immortality. In the ancient world, immortality was often the domain of the gods. This statement rings true across multiple cultures and civilizations, each of which spun tales of eternal life in their own unique ways. Take, for example, the ancient Greeks. Their pantheon of gods was believed to be immortal, living atop Mount Olympus, untouched by the ravages of time. The Greek hero Achilles, on the other hand, was gifted with invulnerability yet not immortality, a distinction that ultimately led to his downfall. Moving northwards, we encounter the Norse myths. Here, the gods sustain their immortality by feasting on the golden apples of Idun. Yet they are not truly immortal, as foreseen by the prophecy of Ragnarok, the end of the gods. In the Norse worldview, even the divine had an expiration date. Now let's journey to ancient Egypt, a civilization that held a profound belief in life after death. The pharaohs, considered gods on earth, were mummified and buried with treasures to aid them in their eternal life in the underworld. The Book of the Dead, a guide for the afterlife, underscores the Egyptians' deep-seated belief in immortality. In all these myths, immortality is a double-edged sword. While it promises eternal life, it often comes with a cost. The Greek gods, for instance, are plagued by petty squabbles and jealousies despite their immortality. The Norse gods, despite their golden apples, are destined to fall in Ragnarok. And the Egyptian pharaohs, despite their elaborate preparations, must journey through a perilous underworld to reach their eternal life. These myths, in their various forms, reflect the human fascination with immortality. They grapple with the implications of eternal life, exploring its benefits and its drawbacks. They ponder the relationship between mortality and meaning, asking whether life has value without death to give it context. These ancient myths set the stage for centuries of fascination with the concept of immortality. As we delve deeper into this topic, we'll see how these ancient notions of eternal life have shaped our modern understanding of immortality. But for now, let's take a moment to appreciate the rich tapestry of myths that have sprung from our timeless desire for immortality. Immortality has also been a prevalent theme in literature and philosophy. From the earliest epic poems to the most complex philosophical discourses, the concept of immortality has been both a source of fascination and a platform for exploring the human condition. In the realm of literature, we find one of the earliest references to immortality in the Epic of Gilgamesh, an ancient Mesopotamian tale. In this narrative, Gilgamesh, the king of Uruk, embarks on a quest for eternal life after the death of his friend Enkidu. His journey symbolizes humanity's struggle with the inevitability of death and the desire for enduring existence. Fast forward to the Romantic era and we see poets like John Keats exploring immortality through the beauty of art. In his famous Ode to a Nightingale, Keats imagines the bird's song as a form of immortality, a song that is heard in ancient days by emperor and clown. Here, immortality is not about living forever, but about creating something that transcends time. In the realm of philosophy, the ancient Greeks had their own musings about immortality. Plato, for instance, proposed the idea of the immortal soul. According to him, while our physical bodies are mortal and subject to decay, our souls are immortal and will continue to exist even after death. This belief in the soul's immortality has significantly influenced Western thought and religious doctrines. In the Middle Ages, philosopher Thomas Aquinas further developed this concept, arguing that human beings, by virtue of their rational souls, participate in God's eternity. For Aquinas, immortality was not just an abstract concept, but a divine promise. However, not all philosophers embraced the idea of immortality. Friedrich Nietzsche, for example, proposed the concept of eternal recurrence, suggesting that we live our lives over and over again in an endless cycle. For Nietzsche, this was not a promise of eternal life, but a challenge to live each moment as if it would recur forever. As we moved into the modern era, our understanding of immortality began to shift. The concept of living forever has been both feared and desired, celebrated and lamented. It's a theme that continues to captivate us, making us ponder over the implications of an everlasting existence. Today, our understanding of immortality is vastly different from our ancestors. In the modern age, immortality is no longer just a concept from ancient myths and philosophical musings. It is a tangible goal that scientists and researchers are avidly pursuing. The quest for immortality has moved from the realm of the supernatural to the laboratories of cutting-edge science. In recent years, there's been a surge of interest in the science of aging. Biologists are exploring how we might extend our lifespans by slowing down the aging process. Theories abound, from manipulating our genetic code to repairing damaged cells, from tapping into the regenerative power of stem cells to the potential of nanotechnology. There's even discussion about the possibility of uploading our consciousness into computers, a concept that blurs the line between science fiction and future reality. But as we inch closer to these scientific breakthroughs, we're also confronted with a host of ethical considerations. If we could live indefinitely, who gets to make that choice? And who would have access to these life-extending technologies? Would it be a privilege reserved for the wealthy, creating an even wider gap between the haves and have-nots? Or would it be a universal right? Moreover, we must consider the societal impacts of such advances. Overpopulation, resource scarcity, and environmental degradation are already pressing concerns. If people stop dying of old age, these issues could become exponentially more severe. And then there's the question of what it means to be human. Part of the human experience is knowing that our time is limited. It gives our lives urgency, purpose, and meaning. If we were to remove that limit, how would it change us? How would it change our relationships, our goals, our dreams? As we stand on the precipice of potentially achieving what was once thought impossible, we must ask ourselves, is immortality truly what we desire? As we explore the possibilities of modern immortality, we must also grapple with these profound questions. The answers we find may well shape the future of our species. Immortality, as enticing as it may seem, is not without its paradoxes and dilemmas. As we delve into the final chapter of our exploration, let's unravel the enigmas that shroud the concept of living forever. Imagine for a moment a life where the hands of time no longer hold any sway. The days blend into years, years into centuries, and centuries into millennia. While the initial allure of experiencing everything life has to offer is undeniable, it's worth pondering if such an existence would eventually succumb to the mundane. With no end in sight, would we not risk falling into the abyss of eternal ennui, where every experience loses its novelty, every joy its sweetness? Then there's the loss of life's urgency. Would immortality not rob us of the very essence that makes life so precious? The very knowledge that our time here is finite fuels our desire to make every moment count, to love deeply, to strive passionately. Would we still feel the same fervor if we knew we had an eternity to accomplish our dreams? And we cannot overlook the profound ethical implications of immortality. If life is a never-ending journey, what would be the value of a single human life? Would we become desensitized to the sufferings of others, knowing that we are immune to the finality of death? And what of the world's resources? An ever-growing immortal population would undoubtedly strain the Earth's finite resources, leading to unprecedented social and environmental challenges. These paradoxes and dilemmas are not merely philosophical conjectures. They are real issues we must confront as we inch closer to the possibility of immortality through advancements in science and technology. As we continue to explore the possibilities of immortality, we must also grapple with these profound questions. After all, the quest for immortality is as much about understanding ourselves as it is about defying the laws of nature.